So when we talk about volume, volume is the amount of space an object takes up. So we're going to find out how much space some of this liquid takes up. Now, this right here is a beaker, and it is graduated. However, this is not the best tool to use when we're measuring volume. The best tool to use when measuring volume is this. And this is a graduated cylinder. This is the more accurate tool because you can see how precise those tick marks make it. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So when we talk about the metric units used for volume, we're not using cups, pints, and gallons. Those are standard units of measurement. We're using the metric system. So we have our liter being our common theme, and we have one smaller, which is the milliliter, and one bigger, which is the kiloliter. And you can see those abbreviations ml, L, and KL behind. So if I talk about how many milliliters are in 1 liter, there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, just like there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter, and so on and so forth. So let's say I'm going to find out, if I wanted to say, how much liquid medicine am I going to take? Am I going to give the appropriate unit of a kiloliter? Am I going to take a kiloliter of medicine? Probably not, hopefully not. You're going to be looking at the smallest unit of measurement, which is the milliliter. If I'm thinking about a liter, appropriate unit of measurement for a liter is probably a 2 liter of pop. Think about how big a 2 liter of pop is. So, and the last one, a kiloliter. The appropriate unit I would use to maybe find out how much water would be in my swimming pool in the summertime. So those are appropriate measurements there. So when we talk about looking at the actually measuring liquid inside of a graduated cylinder, what happens when you pour water in this cylinder right here is that water begins to make a curve, okay? And I'll show you here. And you can kind of see there's a little bubble looking up on top. Now, what that is right here, it's called a meniscus. It's a curve. It's a fancy word for a curve. So when we read a graduated cylinder, we're going to read at the bottom of that curve that graduated cylinder makes. So the bottom of that curve, or we call it a meniscus, is where we're going to read. We are not going to read it up here. No, no, no. We're going to read it at the bottom of the curve down here. So if we take a look right here at this graduated cylinder, we can see that it is a 50 milliliter graduated cylinder. And we can see that we have 15, and then we have 20, and our line is in between 20 and 25. Okay, so we have to look at that curve, and you can kind of see a little bubble there. So if I look at it, we have 20, 21, 22, 23. And if you look right here, that's where the top of that bubble is at 24. So it's not 24 milliliters, it would be 23 milliliters. So the reading on this graduated cylinder would be 23 milliliters.